Greetings, my friends. I have a most important task that only you can fulfill. Will you help me? Hey everybody, this is Oliver Joyce from Whiskeybarrel Studios, and yeah, I need your help. So, up until this moment, I've been talking about the new Swords and Sandals game as Swords and Sandals 6. Swords and Sandals VI, the Roman numeral for 6. And you know, something I've been thinking about all through this process is how can I expand the Swords and Sandals brand into reaching new audiences? And I love the Swords and Sandals community, and you know, that's you guys. Everybody who is watching this channel is part of that. But I really want to expand and bring more people into it. You know, when you watch a movie and then it gets a sequel and another sequel and so on, and all of a sudden they're up to, like, let's take for instance the Saw franchise. I want to play a game. They're up to Saw 8, and then they ended up rebranding it. Rocky was the same. Rocky 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then they just called it Rocky because they knew that people were getting a little sort of tired by the sequel numbers, and new fans can often find it a little inaccessible. I know for my own, Final Fantasy is one of the most successful game series of all time, so it might be the bad example. But for me personally, when I see something like Final Fantasy 15, I think, I can never play that. Where would I even start? Obviously back at Final Fantasy 1, but it's too much for me. And so there comes a point where you think, well, I really should go away from calling it Sword and Sandals 6. And, part of me loves the numerology because I love, Ultima and Ultima 6 and 7, 8, and 9. I love the chronological order of things, but from a marketing perspective, and I have to, unfortunately, put my marketing hat on in times like this if I want to grow the brand and so on. Sometimes you've got to, think bigger, and as that's the long preamble to what I'm now asking for you. I need your help coming up with a new tagline for the game. Now, I proposed these 4, and I've just done a poll on Twitter, which you can go and vote at, and I'll put a link in the description below, or you can vote on them here on the YouTube channel. I'm going to run this for about a week, and we'll see how we go. But let's take a look at the 4 options that I've proposed for the new game. Now, bear in mind, these are very much the ones that I've been thinking about for a while. These are the ones that I like the best. These may not be the final 4, but these are the ones that I like the most. A, B, C, and D. And you can ignore that logo. It's just sort of a placeholder. But A is Sword and Sandals Ultra Gladiator. B, Swords and Sandals Forever. C, Swords and Sandals Immortals. And D, Swords and Sandals Excelsior. Now, I like them all for different reasons. Each of them is kind of strong in some ways. The first one, A, works because it's sort of like a throwback to Swords and Sandals Gladiator, which was the very first game in the series. Analysis is also saying this is like the ultra version of that, the hyper fighter, if you will, for the Street Fighter series. It's a long name. That's my only sort of caveat with that, but it is a kind of cool name, Ultra Gladiator. It also sort of harkens back to Swords and Sandals 3, Gladiator Ultratus, maybe a little similar. B is a very strong name as well, Swords and Sandals Forever. Now, that sort of, is almost a little shout out to, Swords and Sandals will last forever, and we've been doing this forever, and we'll keep doing this forever. It's a strong one. C is at the moment my least favorite, but if you like it, it could grow on me. Swords and Sandals Immortals, harkening back to the Immortal Gladiators, the arena, and the immortality of the series. I don't love that one. If anyone is going to be dropped in favor of something else, it's probably that. And D, Swords and Sandals Excelsior. This one I really like as well. Excelsior is a cool sounding word. It means onward and upward in Latin. And of course, there's the famous catchphrase of the great Stan Lee of Marvel fame. It basically represents what the series is all about. Going onward, going upward, improving, just making the best game we can. And also in terms of, the story and the Gladiator, Gladiator's just getting more powerful and that kind of thing. The downside to this is A, pronouncing it, and B, spelling it. So they're the 4 that I've got right now. And if you hate them all, let me know in the comments below and maybe suggest something of your own. I did try to think of potentially some story-based ones like Swords and Sandals, Starbound, Gladiator, or the Automaton's Return, or that kind of thing. But that in some ways does alienate potential new fans, because I think, what's an automaton? What's the Starbound Gladiator? That kind of thing. So that's my reasoning for what we have in these 4 logos so far. Yeah, so those are the 4, and each good for different reasons. Some that I like more than others, and I hope you like them. And the only constant right now is that unfortunately we are dropping Swords and Sandals 6 as an official name for the game, even though it is, I assure you, the 6th game in this series and a proper full-on sequel to the earlier games, not a spin-off like Pirates and Medieval and Spartacus and all the other ones. This is, I promise you, going to be a gladiator game, just like I've mentioned, and we're just going in this brave new direction. So if you hate them all, I'll go back to the drawing board. But hopefully in 5 days' time, the poll will close, and then next week I'll do a video announcing what the new tagline will be, and we'll start calling the game whatever it is. So let me know, of course, in the comments below, A, B, C, or D, or if there's another one that you like, let me know in the comments below as well. You can also vote on Twitter, and I'll put a link here, and I'll throw this up to the Discord channel as well for those who are fans from there. I really appreciate your input in all this, because although I'm the one creating and programming the game, without the input of the fans and the community, this isn't going to be the game that you want, or that I can do the best job of making. So we'll do this together, and we'll do it right. Until next time, my friends, have a brilliant week, and I look forward to seeing the results of the game's poll, and seeing what the destiny of our new game will be. Until next time, bye for now.